What's up everyone? For today's video, I'm going to be going over paste wax and why we should be paste waxing our surfaces. Let's get to it. Alright, so the first reason why you want to paste wax your surfaces is because you don't want your surfaces to corrode. If you're anything like me, hearing that statement, you're sitting here thinking, well, my equipment never goes outside, so that's going to be a non-issue for me. Well, you're wrong, because it is an issue for you. Most likely, your garages aren't climate controlled. Depending on the climate that you live in, a high humidity day can cause your surfaces to corrode. It might not be noticeable the first 10, 20, 30 high humidity days that it goes through, but eventually they're going to corrode. You ever see one of those table saws that's sat in a garage for 10, 15 years and nobody ever actually laid eyes on it in those 10, 15 years? Then suddenly it ends up in an estate sale and it's corroded all over the top of that saw. That's what happened. It sat in a garage and a bunch of high humidity days slowly ate away at the surfaces of that saw. In a continuation of your climate control in your shop, if you're using a fuel-fired heat source like a kerosene heater or a propane heater, those heaters are going to increase the moisture within the air of your shop. If you ever use those heaters, you notice how the windows start collecting a bunch of moisture and to the point where it starts running down those windows. Well, that's happening throughout your entire shop. It's even happening to the surfaces of your equipment. It's just not happening on the same level, so you might not notice it, but sure enough, you are collecting moisture on the surface of your equipment when you're using fuel-fired heat sources. Now, I wasn't born with this information, and nobody told me about it. I had to learn this stuff through some hard lessons that told me that I needed to do some research on this. One of the hard lessons I had was I went and got some fresh pressure treated lumber from Lowe's. And when I come in and unloaded it, I unloaded it right here on this table saw. And back then this saw was only a couple months old at the time. And it was pretty late in the evening when I got back, so I just unloaded it here, didn't worry about it, and I went inside. And you know, that's my fault. But the thing is I wanted to go inside and I wanted to watch me some Walking Dead. I was worried about Carl and being bitten. I wasn't worried about this. I wanted to go see what was going to happen to Carl. And sure enough, when I come out here the next day to move that wood, I had these nice straight streaks that was full board width wide of corrosion that already started on this surface from the moisture that was in that pressure treated wood, because that is some wet stuff. So yeah, nightmare fuel. It was horrible. So I had to clean that up and get it back to square one. But sure enough, that wasn't the only time that happened. You know, a couple months later, I went and got some lumber, some exotic stuff and some other stuff. And on the way home, it had rained pretty hard. And I didn't think nothing of it. And I set it all down on here just like I do with every time I get a bunch of lumber. And I wasn't thinking of it at all at the time. I was thinking, you know, I need to go inside and catch me some Game of Thrones. You know, Joffrey was mucking things up and I needed to go see what was going on with that. I wasn't worried about this. And sure enough, the next day there was more corrosion on the surface of this table saw because, you know, I didn't care for it the way I should have. So I ended up having to clean that up. I mean, it was terrible. It was a lot of work to clean it up, and then I decided that I needed to do some research on how to protect these surfaces so that didn't happen again. But I also stopped storing my wood on top of the table saw whenever I went and got new wood, so that helps too. But yeah, those were my hard lessons in this. So after doing some research, I found paste wax to be a good option for protecting the surfaces of your equipment. And one of the benefits that I've noticed from using paste wax on these surfaces is that it reduced the amount of scratches that you see across the surfaces of the equipment. I noticed that I was scratching it up a pretty good bit before I was doing that, and then after I started using paste wax, it seemed like the frequency of the surface getting scratched up slowed down a good bit. And that's mainly because you just made the surface a lot slicker, which is another benefit to it, is that your material is going to slide across this surface with ease, which actually makes me want to do a little bit of an experiment. I might throw a piece of wood on here with some weight and see how much pressure it takes to pull on that to get it to start to move. It's not going to be a good baseline because I do this about every year with the frequency that I use my equipment. Every year seems to be a good amount of times to do this for me. But it's not going to be an exact zero baseline for a test like that. But I think there's going to be a pretty good difference between before waxing and after waxing as far as how much pressure it takes to get a weighted piece of wood to slide across the surface. It'll be interesting to see. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to set this up in multiple spots throughout the table saw, and I'm going to do this 3 times each using that fish scale to come up with good averages for each spot and see what the difference is before and after here. So it looks like 11 pounds. That one took about 14 pounds. So before I start waxing, I got to get rid of this little bit of corrosion in here. Corrosion is, in a way, kind of contagious. It just keeps on spreading, and it'll keep on getting worse. So you have to remove it before you treat the surface. So that's what I'm going to get to doing right now. With this type of product, it doesn't really matter what you're wiping it on with. I use some disposable shop rags. You can use socks, you can use t-shirts, you can use paper towels. I've used paper towels before and it works just fine. It doesn't matter what you're wiping it on with. You can pick whatever type of material you want. But whatever you decide to go with for wiping this stuff on, you're going to want 2 of them. You're going to want one that's going to be dipped in the the paste wax, and then you want one that's going to be used for wiping it off or buffing it into the table saw. But what you're seeing me do right now is using the one that I'm dipping into my paste wax, which is pretty solid. I say dipping it in like it's a wet substance, but it's a pretty solid chunk of wax. But I'm dipping it in there, getting a good bit of wax on that rag, and then I'm wiping it all over the top of the saw, making it nice and thick. And then I grab the clean rag and I just start buffing it in with that rag. So at this point, it's kind of like waxing a car. You want to buff that stuff in until you no longer see any streaks, which oddly enough with this substance there's a lot of friction when it's on there nice and thick, but once it gets to the point where it's buffed in pretty nicely, it'll suddenly loosen up and the surface will be really slippery. So in a way, it lets you know when you're done wiping it down. Alright, so now that we got this done, we'll go ahead and put the weights and the board back on top of it and see if we can get some after numbers for how much resistance there is on this surface. Considerably less. That it's almost concerning how much less that is. And that one is 12 and a half, 12 and 12. Let's see what we get. It actually took a good bit. That was the rest of them were. Maybe that means I need to wax a little better up there on the. Alright, let's go ahead and go back through the results from the first test from before we waxed it, and then I'll go ahead and cover the differences in the results from after I waxed it. Alright, so what you see here is the data for me going in 4 different spots on this table saw surface and doing 3 different pulls to see how much weight it takes to pull this weight across that surface on that piece of wood. The bottom row you see here is the averages in each of those rows. One thing you'll notice with this data is the 2 rows that are to the right side are both higher. Like it took more weight to get the weight to pull across that surface. And that's because these are the areas that are the most commonly used on this table saw. So naturally it wore off the paste wax from last year significantly more than the other areas. And here is the after waxing results. You see a pretty dramatic drop. We went from running around 11 to 13 pounds of force that it took to pull that weight across the surface of the table saw. It dropped down to 7 to 8 pounds of force to pull that same weight across the surface of the table saw. So that's a pretty significant drop, running around 30% less force or less effort it takes to move material across the table saw. And keep in mind the baseline is a table saw that was waxed a year ago. So I don't know what the results would be like if it had never been waxed at all. It might be a good bit more. The biggest drop, the biggest difference that we see here is in the area that's most frequently used, which is just to the right side of the table saw blade, where we went from 13.17 average down to 6.83. So that's almost a 50% reduction in the force that it takes to move material across that area on the table saw. So that's a pretty significant difference. If you're using the table saw on a big project all day long, you might actually feel a little bit of a difference by the end of the day. So with that all being done, let's go ahead and go through a speed run of some other equipment to rub this paste wax on, because it's not just for table saws, it's for anything else that has these steel surfaces that need to be protected. So let's go through some of that. For your planer, first and foremost, make sure you're unplugged. You don't want to be sticking a hand in a live machine for this. Next thing, you just want to make sure your plate is waxed up real nice, but don't get any wax on your rollers, because if your feeder rollers get wax on them, then they're not going to work out too well. But waxing this plate makes your material feed through this machine way better. Believe me, you'll have less roller slip, and it'll actually help out with snipe a little bit if you have this waxed up. Again, you're going to feel some resistance as you are rubbing this in, and then all of a sudden it'll just start feeling smooth. That's when you've rubbed it in enough. Alright, so there we have it. We're all waxed up. I got a few small machines I need to do yet. I'm going to do some surfaces on my lathe, but I didn't think I should bore you with those clips, so I'm going to do them later. But one of the things that I think would come up as a question is, does this get into your wood in a way that affects your finishing? So if you're staining it or putting a poly on, does it affect that? I have never noticed an effect with that. Again, I sand everything before I do finishing, but if you're going straight from cutting it to finishing it, that could be a different story. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that. But for the way I do work, I've never noticed that it has ever had an effect on my finish at all. 5 years of using this stuff, this is how much I've used of it. I think this can will last me the rest of my life, or at least until I lose it by putting it somewhere that I forget where it's at, which is probably more likely to happen. I'll probably own a couple cans of these, and then they'll find them somewhere after I'm gone and reunite them. Now for the whole process of doing that, I use these, basically they're shop rags that you can buy. I think you could do this just fine with a paper towel. Yeah, just a couple paper towels, and I think you would be fine at doing it. You could use a sock, an old t-shirt, anything to wipe it on that's not sensitive for that at all. It's a super easy process. You wipe it on nice and thick, and then you just buff it out. Like I said a couple times throughout this, whenever you're wiping it in, you'll feel a lot of resistance with it as you're wiping it in, and then all of a sudden it'll just feel like it's smooth as glass. That's when you're done. When you get that smooth as glass feeling, it's buffed in pretty good at that point. But yeah, that's how you do it. That's why you do it, and that's it for this video. So if you enjoyed this type of content, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll make some more videos like this. Toodles!